When you reach 65, life begins to slow down in a way that changes how you see everything. The world no longer feels like a race. It feels like a quiet walk where you finally notice the details, the laughter that once echoed in your home, the faces that have come and gone, the moments that mattered far more than you realized at the time. You begin to see life through a softer lens, one shaped by experience, loss, love, and the wisdom that only time can teach. The noise that once surrounded you starts to fade, and what truly matters, peace, respect, and inner calm, comes into focus like never before. But many people in their later years learn something difficult. Peace doesn't always come from being open about everything. Sometimes, the calm you crave comes from knowing what not to say. It's not about hiding who you are. It's about protecting your peace, your dignity, and your independence. Because after a lifetime of giving, there comes a point when your greatest gift to yourself is privacy. There are a few things that people over 65 often wish they had kept to themselves. These aren't secrets in the shameful sense. They're simply lessons born from hard experiences. The first thing to keep private is your money. It may seem harmless to talk about your savings or how much you've put aside. You might think it will help your family plan or ease their worries. But the truth is, money changes things. When others know exactly what you have, expectations begin to form. Suddenly, your choices are questioned. You might hear, "Why are you buying that?" Or, "Shouldn't you save for us?" Without realizing it, your financial freedom slowly becomes a family discussion, and you start living under someone else's approval instead of your own sense of peace. You worked your entire life for what you have. You've earned the right to use your money however you choose, whether it's to travel, give, or simply enjoy your days comfortably. Helping your family is a beautiful thing, but it should be your choice, not an obligation born out of guilt or pressure. Financial privacy isn't secrecy, it's self-respect. The second thing to guard closely is your family disappointment. Every parent, no matter how loving, carries a few wounds. Maybe your child made choices that hurt you. Maybe they grew distant, said words that stung, or failed to show up when you needed them most. These memories linger, and sometimes you just want to be understood, to have them realize the pain they caused. But bringing up old hurt repeatedly doesn't heal it. It hardens the space between you. I've met people in their 70s and 80s who replay the same arguments, hoping one day their children will finally apologize. But what happens instead is emotional distance. The child avoids calls, visits become shorter, and love begins to feel like a burden. The peace you want so deeply won't come from rehashing pain. It will come from releasing it. Talk to a journal, pray, reflect, cry if you must, but not every wound needs an audience. There's power in choosing silence over resentment. When you rise above bitterness, you don't just keep your dignity, you keep your heart open for love to flow back in. The third thing to keep private is your inheritance plans. This one surprises many people. You might think being upfront about your will prevents confusion later, but experience shows it often creates more tension. When people know what they're going to receive, or what they're not going to receive, emotions shift. Suddenly, conversations feel colder, comparisons begin, and suspicion takes root. Siblings who once laughed together start competing. Your love becomes something to measure, something to debate. The wiser way is to prepare everything legally and clearly, but quietly. Let your documents do the talking when the time comes. Until then, keep your focus on living, not leaving. Let your family enjoy you, not your estate. Money can replace many things, but not the feeling of being loved without condition. Your peace is worth far more than your possession. The fourth thing to protect is your fears and weaknesses. It's natural, as you age, to feel more vulnerable. You may notice your memory isn't as sharp or that loneliness visits more often than it used to. Sharing these feelings occasionally can help you feel supported, but there's a delicate line between honesty and surrendering your power. If you constantly speak of what you fear, people will begin to see you through that lens. They might start to handle you like fragile glass, limiting your independence, making decisions for you, or speaking on your behalf. You've spent a lifetime weathering storms. You've faced loss, responsibility, and change. That strength didn't disappear just because your hair turned gray or your hands grew softer. You are not fragile, you're seasoned. You are living proof that resilience doesn't fade with age, it deepens. So, share your struggles only with those who truly support you. Don't let fear become your identity. Let courage, grace, and wisdom define you instead. Here's a truth that only time can teach. Silence isn't weakness, it's power. It's the armor you wear to protect your peace. Not every detail of your life needs to be shared. Not every thought deserves to be spoken. The world doesn't need to know everything about you. What you owe yourself now is tranquility, the kind that comes from stillness, privacy, and choosing your words carefully. After 65, your richest treasure isn't your savings, your property, or even your time. It's your serenity. And serenity comes from knowing when to speak and when to stay quiet, when to give and when to simply let go. Protect your peace as fiercely as you once protected your children, your marriage, and your home. Guard it not out of fear, but out of love for the life you've built and the dignity you've earned. The truth is, happiness in your later years doesn't come from what you tell others, it comes from what you quietly keep in your heart. Those private thoughts, those small joys, those peaceful moments, those are yours alone. When you hold them close, you stop living for approval and start living for peace. So, as you step into this beautiful, reflective stage of life, remember, you've already spent decades giving your time, love, and energy to others. Now it's time to give something back to yourself. Give yourself silence. Give yourself privacy. Give yourself the right to live gently, wisely, and unapologetically at peace. Because at the end of it all, the calmest life isn't the one filled with the most people, it's the one filled with the most peace.